Welcome back to the Fully Stoked podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Stokes. Cody's not with us today because I am talking with another friend of mine, Alexandria Viera, also known as Alex Viera. She is the founder and owner of The Confident Parent. Alex, tell us a little bit about The Confident Parent.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sarah. So, the Confident Parent is basically occupational therapy for women. I started out as a pediatric OT, and I realized that moms and women need to know about their nervous system. They need to know how to get out of survival mode and have great habits and regulation tools so they can be successful.
That's right. I am a mom and I can attest to that. That is very helpful. In fact, it is so helpful that I have asked Alex to come and speak in Charlotte at an event on November the 19th. So her upcoming speaking engagement there is for the Unscripted Women's Network. We are meeting at Jabina Cafe on November 19th at 9:30 a.m. and she's going to do like a mini workshop for us, and it's going to be amazing. The South Charlotte Women in Business Networking Group is also going to be part of it, so it's going to be a collaborative effort. And Alex is going to dive in and tell us a little bit about what you're going to talk about on the 19th. Alex?
Yes, I'm going to be talking about a series I'm doing called Regulate to Rise, and it's how to work with your nervous system to be successful and be productive, because us high achieving women, most of us have a sensitive nervous system. You know, you and I have talked about this.
Yes.
So we call ourselves neurodivergence, and we're the ones who tend to get stuck in fight or flight or burnout
Right.
because we are sensitive and maybe we don't know the right tools to kind of maintain that regulated baseline. So it's going to be an amazing topic, and I'm going to give women super easy and practical tools to notice when they're kind of stuck in that hustle mode and they can't get out of it.
Okay. I'm kind of stuck there all the time, so I can't wait for this. I met Alex and Marion at the River and Rise. It's at a women's event, but it was at this really cool it was not just yurts. It was also there's homes that you can rent. It's right on the river. It's beautiful, and Marion's a beautiful place. And so she came out, and I met her, and I was like, "Oh, guys, come here! You got to meet Alex. She knows all kinds of stuff about neurodivergence because I do have ADD or ADHD. I'm not sure exactly which one. I think it says ADD. I'm not sure, but that is a type of neurodivergence, right, Alex?
Yes, yeah. Now it's all under the term. Back in the day, it was ADD, but now it's all ADHD. And,
Okay.
there's not enough diagnosis to go around. The umbrella diagnosis is a sensitive nervous system, right? It's genetic. Maybe it's the trauma brain, but we're sensitive not just to sensory input, the noises, the sounds, but our energy is sensitive. That's why a lot of us are in the service industry. We know how to work with people and connect with people. And it can be hard having a sensitive nervous system because it's not something you can turn off.
Right.
So we have to know how to work with our sensitive nervous system.
So one thing I was talking with a girlfriend about probably about 3 or 4 days ago, it wasn't very long ago, was um, ADD is, I was talking with Shannon about it. She's diagnosed with that as well, but she said, it's not that we're focused on too many things and our focus is too small. It's kind of like we're focused, like hyper focused on so many things, and we're so busy, our brain's busy. So, I definitely can attest that that is my experience. And then in crisis, I'm pretty good in crisis. I'm able to
Oh,
deal with
yeah.
it maybe better than someone who doesn't have that neurodivergence. So, when you're an entrepreneur, there's a lot of crises that happen.
Oh, yeah.
It's
And
like
we
every day.
thrive. We thrive in the crisis. And most of us are entrepreneurs because we don't fit in a box. Like working a 9 to 5, I would call it like slavery and a different type of hell. Like to work for someone else in a 9 to 5. That's why most of us, we create a life that supports our nervous system. Because if you lock me in a building from 9 to 5, it's a slow death. Like I was so burnt out. That's why I quit my job and started working for myself. So a lot of us, we wear different hats. We have different businesses because it just keeps us going, and we can do all the things. We can thrive in that environment.
So can you give us a couple of signs that maybe we could recognize dysregulation and or burnout?
Yeah. So some of the main signs are just noticing, like you said, I'm going and doing all the time. Our nervous system, so we have different nervous system states, right? There's fight or flight, there's a regulated baseline, and then there's functional freeze. So if you notice you're going, doing all the time, and then when you try to slow down, you can't. Like you're trying to connect, you're trying to slow down in your brain. It's usually our hyperactivities in our brain. Our brain is like, but the dishes, but this, the emails. And it's like you're waking up at 3 a.m. and your brain is thinking about all the things you have to do. That is a symptom of dysregulation. And it's our job to tell our nervous system, hey, you're safe. You don't have to live there. You can come back. You know, a flexible nervous system is a successful nervous system. So we don't want to get stuck there. We want to be able to come back to regulation and be present and connected. And a lot of us either bounce from fight or flight or functional freeze. At the end of the day, you are melted into the couch and you can't do anything. Like you're just frozen or overwhelmed. We function in those two different states and we don't really have that baseline of regulation. Does that make sense?
I agree. That resonates
Yeah.
incredibly with me. It really does. I'll go and go and go until I'm just exhausted, and I have
Yeah.
to sit on the bed or the couch for maybe sometimes a weekend. That usually
Yeah.
happens about once a year, give or take, when I
Mhm.
can. So, can you give? You've got a signature 2-minute daily check-in practice that keeps
Yeah.
chaos in check. I mean, you don't have to give all your secrets away today, but if you want to, share a little bit about that.
I'll share a little bit and then I'll leave the rest for that meeting we have in Charlotte coming up.
Okay.
But yeah, I tell women like we're like we don't have time. I don't have time. I have a business. I have kids. I have all these things. I'm like you don't even need 30 minutes. You need 2 minutes, right? We bounce between so many transitions in the day, okay? Get up, get the kids ready, drop them off, work meeting, this, that. And then we don't stop until like 10 p.m. and we're crashed, okay? We have a lot of transitions that go on through the day, but our transitions are the built in time we already have. Okay. It's that in between when you're in the car, you have that time to eat. Maybe you have 5 minutes to just go sit outside. It's those little in between buffer times where you can take 2 minutes and do nothing. Like, don't answer an email, which is the hard part for us high achievers because
Right.
we need to use the time we have to do things.
Yeah.
But if you can be mindful during this transition before this meeting, I'm going to spend 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to sit outside and I'm going to connect with my body. I'm going to take deep breaths and I'm just going to slow down and remind my nervous system, hey, being present and regulated is safe. And that's how we start to teach our nervous system. It's just 2 minutes at a time and it's so powerful.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I can't wait to hear more about that on the 19th of November,
Mm.
2025 at Jabina Cafe. So I'll also include the link for the Eventbrite so people can sign up for it. We're already at about 17 and the space is not that big. So there is limited capacity. That's a good sign. Usually people don't sign up until about 2 weeks before, and we're entering into that next week.
Yay.
But I think we're probably going to be sold out. So definitely you want to grab a seat. And we'll do a part two if we need to, if there's a lot of people that need to come and they can't get in. So that's exciting. All right.
Mm.
So this might be what you're going to share on the 19th, but the 5 intentional minutes a day can
Mm.
change your mindset, energy, and home atmosphere. I'm really interested in that. So do you do that in the morning? Do you do that at night? When are you supposed to do that?
Yeah, so it can start with 2 minutes. If you can schedule out 5 or 10,
Oh,
that's like the goal, right? But you can start with 2 minutes a day. It's that little 2 minutes that teaches your
okay.
nervous system.
Okay.
But like my example is, right, I have 3 young kids and I got to get them
Yeah.
ready for the day. And if my alarm goes off and I just go, right? Like hustle and rushing is our like fight or flight's best friend and our nervous system wants to stay there. So we have to slow down. Regulation is about doing less, right? Like I always remind us, okay, I'm not a human doing, I'm a human being. I just need to like be for a few minutes.
Yeah.
So before, and you could have this little practice, this check-in practice anytime. But if you can start your day like that before you open your laptop, before you look at your phone, a lot of us are checking emails the second we wake up. That's a recipe for dysregulation and like holy cortisol levels, right? But
Yeah.
if you could just be intentional, Like, I'm going to take deep breaths. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to say my affirmations. I'm going to do my devotion and pray. It's so powerful, so powerful. And the most successful people actually have these habits, right? Because they don't have time to get burnt out, right? But
Right.
they have 5 minutes here and there because we can't afford to be burnt out. Like you said, a whole weekend once a year. Like, girl, it was like a whole week for me every four
Oh,
months.
wow.
Like that was my burnout cycle because
Yeah.
I was doing way too much, and it's
Yes.
your body will say I can't do this anymore and it shuts down. So if you can just schedule in those little times, 2 to 5 minutes a day, it's like a love letter to your nervous system, and you're preventing the chronic stress and burnout.
Yeah. So I think what I do in the mornings, and it is helpful, but it almost becomes sort of obsessive too. Because when I don't do it, I have my devotional time in the morning, but when I don't do it, I feel like all day long it's like I gotta get it done. I want to get it done. I really need to get checked off my
Yes.
list. And I know that's not why we do devotionals, but it is something that does set me better, sets me right, And
Hmm.
if I don't do it, my body feels it, my mind feels it, my neurological system, it all feels it definitely. But I probably need to work on the sort of obsessive compulsive aspect of it where I must have it. But I do make time for it later. If I miss it in the morning, sometimes I'll do it, after lunch or before I go to bed or something like that.
Hmm.
It fulfills me. So I know there's a balance. I understand there's probably a balance. But we're going to learn more on the 19th. You're going to tell someone. I mean, I'm just so excited to talk to you. I really am really excited to talk to you in person again and to learn from you. Okay, so you had a personal shift. You said like a whole week every 4 months, right? So something happened that said, nope, not going to do this anymore. What was it that happened? If you could just tell us a little bit about that, because I know so many women, this is going to resonate with them. And they're going to say, oh, well, if it happened to her and she could set it straight, then I know I can too.
Oh yeah. So I didn't start doing nervous system and healing work until after my second child, and I'm a high achiever. Like, I want to go, I want to do, I want to build. And I was working 40 hours a week, therapy hours, which is like double
Yeah.
that, with
Yeah.
two, like I was like 8 weeks postpartum when I went back to work. I had like a 0 year old and a 2 year old, and I had no boundaries. Alex, can you take this on? Yes, yes, yes. Let me do it all. Yes. I was doing all the cooking, all the cleaning. I didn't give myself lunch breaks because I want to build, I want to help. But my body was screaming no. And I went to the doctor. I'm like, I have mono. There is something wrong with me. And they did all the testing and they're like, no. Like, this has happened to me 3 times where I've had to go to the doctor or the hospital because I seriously thought there was something wrong with me. And it was my body crashing. And I just like had a breakdown and a come to Jesus moment. I was like in the shower, I'm like, oh, what is going on? And God was like, quit your job. Like, talk about drastic, right? Like,
Wow.
okay, us high achiever women, we tend to be very 0 or 100. So this was like a very 0 or 100 moment for
Yeah.
me. And I quit my job. I started slowing down. It was so uncomfortable because I never thought I would want to be a stay-at-home mom and start a business, but my nervous system needed that reset. And you don't have to, like, women don't have to obviously go that drastically. Like, you could just cut back a little bit, like longer lunch breaks, those little 5 minute pockets here and there. But you can't heal your nervous system if you are stuck in the hustle mode that got you there.
Right.
Um, so I started doing the nervous system work on myself, and then I started sharing it with other women, and that's how the confident parent came to be.
So you're not there's no just to it because stay-at-home mom is the ultimate. I would have
Oh,
loved to have been a stay-at-home mom. I'm telling you, my
uh-huh.
kids are they're older. They're almost grown. They're actually sleeping right now at 11:26 a.m. in the morning, but it's okay. They're off school today, so they need to catch up. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's a great calling and life goal, So, but
Mhm.
you also have the confident parent. So you didn't actually just give up your job. You just sort of changed it. Like you said earlier in the conversation, you tailored your own career to fit you and your neurodivergence, I guess, right? Is that,
Yes.
yeah. So all of us kind of end up doing that, but we might crash and
Mhm.
burn a few times. So I think you're going to give us some tips so that we don't crash and burn. Honestly, I had a similar situation. the Lord told me to stop. He just said, you need to stop doing this thing. I was
Mm-hmm.
I really was very highly focused on yoga. It was my identity. That's all that I did. I did it in the morning, I did it in the evening. Oh my gosh, it was just fantastic and I loved it so much. But also was just like he said, stop doing it. And I was like, what do I do? So the transition into life without that was
Uh,
very challenging, but it's been a journey. And so I know it's not the same as work, but in
mm-hmm.
many ways, because I do get kind of fixated on doing things and I like to check it off my list,
Mm-hmm.
that's been a learning curve for me. And I'm doing okay with it, but I think I may have just put work in its stead. And so I have a lot of hours of work, but I'm gonna glean from this conversation. I'm gonna do the 2 minute thing. Hopefully, move it up to 5 minutes throughout the day. I have my devotion in the morning, but I mean, I think I need it more throughout the
Yeah.
day. Do you recommend that women cut off work because I will work until 11, 12 at night if I can? Is it good to
Yeah.
stop?
So, okay, this is what I'm learning about us neurodivergent women, right? We're very 0 or 100. Like,
Yeah,
I don't even believe in balance because I'm like, I don't think I have balance. Like, I have seasons of life where there's like a month or two where I need to hustle. But right, like scheduling in those little breaks. Think of yourself as like seasons. Like as women, we're not men. We can't just balance work, work, work all the time. Think of it as seasons. Like these next few weeks are going to be busy, but then I can slow down and really rest. Like our cycle almost does that for us if we can listen to it, right?
yeah,
There's a time, a one week in our month where our body wants us to slow down. So remembering that, we work in seasons and cycles
yeah,
and we're not men. And maybe you have a few weeks where you have to work until 11, but just make sure you have those mini practices throughout the day and then be like, okay, my nervous system needs a reset.
yeah.
Does that resonate with you?
Absolutely, it does. I just need to
Yeah.
learn how to do that. I'm going to keep learning from you, though. So
Yeah.
there's a difference between sort of chasing versus attracting your opportunities. Is that something that you can speak to? I guess when you're chasing, you're just doing, 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 doing. I don't know if that,
Yes.
what, you know.
Yeah. And our nervous system, when we're present and regulated, we are safe. And when we're safe, we're like so connected to that feminine creativity. We can let go and surrender. We can attract. Like that's the power of being a woman. We
Hmm.
don't have to chase, right? We attract. But if we're stuck in that fight or flight, go, do, we're stuck almost in that like masculine energy, right? We have to find about like there's got to be a both. But if
Yeah,
we're stuck and we don't feel safe and we have to control and we have to get, we're not safe, we're not in our feminine, and we're not attracting. And when you can
yeah,
really tune into that, that's when I notice your business will take off. Like when I feel good and I'm taking care of myself
yeah.
and I feel safe and supported and I'm flowing, I'm creating, people just flood my inbox.
Right.
Like they want to work with me because my energy is attracting that. But if I'm like, I gotta get, I gotta do, I gotta sell, I'm not safe and I'm coming from that like hustle energy. You know what I'm
It-
saying?
Yeah, and that leads me to my next question. Is like a lot of women are waiting to start their journey. They want to start at the perfect time to pursue their dreams and maybe an entrepreneurial goal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's isn't that sort of like a pattern that could be broken with what you were just talking about, the feminine energy versus the go get them aggressive. Well, I mean, there's not even a go get them attitude. It's more like I have to do it. I have to do it. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily even, yeah. So, what would you say to women who are waiting to start?
Well, that's what your nervous system wants you to do. So your nervous system's job is to just protect you. It's always scanning for danger. Okay. That's why you need to learn to work with it. Like when you take messy action, you're teaching your nervous system, hey, like I know you're stuck in a state of fear. You want to stay in the comfort zone. Thank you for protecting me. But I need to do these things. And I truly believe 90%, 95% of people on this planet are stuck in their comfort zone because they don't understand. That's just their nervous system trying to keep them safe. And I hear women all the time, oh, when my kids start school, I'll finally pursue my dreams and my hopes. Like, girl, like that's your nervous system. That is not you. That is not you. And you can take messy action. A lot of us tend to be perfectionists and we're like, well, all the ducks have to be perfectly aligned for me to even start. Like, no, girl, just take action. And then your
Mhm.
nervous system will slowly learn, okay, this isn't so scary and it's starting to feel safe.
And then you talk about the holistic lens, how emotional, spiritual, physical, and your environment, like all of that affects how you interact and, how you step out, how you get ready to go. What are some simple tools to regulate the body and mind? And I think you said like breath work and grounding, and there's a few other things. Um,
Yeah, so the holistic approach, right? You can't address one part of you without addressing all the parts. It's like, so for me, that I talk about the holistic approach as mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. So you could be like, I'm meeting my mental and physical health, right? But you're neglecting your spiritual health and your emotional health. Well, you're like a car on two wheels. You're not going anywhere. So being really mindful about that. And I would recommend to the women listening, take inventory. Is there a part of me that I'm neglecting? How's my emotional health? How's my mental health? My physical health and my spiritual health? You have to address all parts of you, and that is your nervous system. It's all parts of you. And just being mindful and having just simple habits. You don't have to go big hard all the time, and that's really hard. We have to reprogram ourselves, Sarah, because I'm still stuck in that, like, I can just do a little bit. I can just do 5 minutes of the laundry pile. I don't have to sit here for 30 minutes and do the whole thing. Like, it's so hard because our neurodivergent brains.
Wait, is that okay?
It feels wrong. It feels wrong to only
Yes,
do a little bit, right?
yes, yes, yes. But you're saying it's okay. So then I don't need to finish the laundry because there is a pile and I have so many other things that I should do instead. I'm just going to leave it. It's okay. It's all
You can
right.
retrain your brain. Like, you could just do 5 minutes. It feels so wrong, but you can, and you're just reprogramming your brain because a lot of it is limiting beliefs that we grew up having. Like, it has to be perfect. It has to be this way. Well, it really doesn't. That's when
Right.
your mental health comes into the picture, and understanding that your beliefs, really dictate how
Right.
you
And it's
behave and
the
how you show up.
I like what you said earlier. It's a season too. So if you're in a season of life like you are with little kids, there's no way you're going to have all the laundry done. It's just not going to happen because there's more laundry to come. Okay, but my kids are older and there's no way I'm going to have all the laundry done. I'm just really defending myself right now, but it's true because I have right now I'm in a season of building my business and I've been
Mm-hmm.
out here for a year. It's been a year and a little over a year, but it's been a great journey. But I have had to focus on that more than keeping my house clean or
Mm-hmm.
perfect, right? And there'll be a
Yeah.
season when I can do that. There'll be a season when I can slow it
Mhm.
down just a little bit. But I like the 5 minutes, 2 minutes to 5 minutes. I'm going to implement that after our talk today. I'm going to take two
Mhm.
minutes after we get off this call, and I'm going to try to get. What do you do? You do some breathing, ground. What do I need to do for
Yes.
the two
So
minutes?
it's cool because the check-in hits on all four of those holistic pillars. So
Okay.
I would say go outside because it's super regulating, and you're gonna maybe say some affirmations. That's your mental health. Like, it is safe to slow down.
Oh, I
It
love
is safe to connect with myself.
that.
And
Right,
then
good
you
one.
can do your deep breathing. Okay. Do deep breathing for at least 75 seconds because that stimulates something called your vagus nerve, which is responsible for shifting to a regulated state. So take 4 or 5 deep breaths. The long, slow exhale slows down the heart rate and shifts you. So you're going to go outside, get your coat on. It's cold now. Stare at the leaves. Take your deep breaths. Say some affirmations. Um, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is. And there's more
Good.
to it, but I would say start with that.
Okay. So, question: if I'm walking my dog, is that not really focusing on the 2 or 5 minutes on me because I'm trying to multitask? Should I not walk
Yeah.
the dog?
So I think you can. I think it's your intention behind it. You're like, I gotta get this dog walked. I gotta
Okay, yes,
get
that's
this.
my intention. So I shouldn't be like that. Okay. All right.
like, but like, I'm gonna use this 5 minutes of walking my dog. I'm gonna leave my phone. I'm going to be intentional. Use your senses, right? Most of us live in our head, okay? The hyperactivity is in the brain. A hyperactive brain is an underactive body. So be mindful. I'm going to walk the dog and I'm going to try to just get out of my head and connect to my body and use your senses. What am I seeing right now? Look at the different colors of the leaves. Look at the sun coming through the clouds. What do I feel? Like close your eyes. Like I feel the sun and wind on my skin. I think my like belt buckle's too tight. Just using your senses. What do I smell? That it's called the 5 4 3 2 1 technique can within that minute, right? If you're being intentional, can shift you back into your body. And that's what regulation and presence is.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is going to be really helpful for me. So if nobody else gets anything out of the 19th, I am going to take notes. I hope you'll explain that 5 4 3 2 1 to all of those ladies as well, because this is
Yes.
transformational. I can't wait to
It
start
really is.
implementing
And
it.
it's powerful because, right, maybe you can't change your environment too much, right? I'm working, I have kids, there's so much that I can't control. But if you just shift on, there is so much I can control. I can control moving my schedule around just a little bit. I can control, my mindset. I can control how I connect with myself. It's really powerful. And we
Yes.
all have 2 minutes, Sarah. Like, if
Yeah.
there's a woman who tells me she doesn't, like, send her my way and I will show her she has a time.
All right. I will actually. So if people want to get in touch with you, I will link your contact information. But do you have a website, social media? I can link all of that below in the summary. And everybody needs to follow you because you do have really fantastic educational videos. I saw one yesterday. It was so cute. You were wearing a blue like suit jacket or whatever. And I was like, I bet
Oh,
you got
that
those
was
kids
my,
running around.
I found that pantsuit at Goodwill and I just got inspired from like newsroom SNL. I'm like, this might be a fun way to educate people.
It
So
is. It's very entertaining.
yes, I try to entertain and educate at the same time.
Yeah.
So you can follow me at The Confident Parent, Alex Viera, on Instagram or Facebook. And it's not just for parents, okay? It's for women. If you're a woman and you struggle with stress and burnout and all those things, this space is for you. And then my podcast, if you enjoy this conversation, it's just me kind of unhinged on the podcast. Just being honest and talking about these things. So that's the Confident Parent
Where,
podcast.
okay, where can I find that?
It's on Apple and Spotify.
The Confident Parent podcast, the Confident Parent podcast. Okay, didn't
Yeah.
know that one. And that's on Apple and Spotify. Great. And you just interviewed one of our common friends, Dr. Kate Dwyer. So I'm going to definitely listen
Yes.
to that one in just a little bit. She's a nutritionist. She's fantastic. And well, I've got a couple of rapid fire questions for you. Favorite way to
Mm.
recharge after a long day with the kiddos?
Ooh, I would say I like taking a long bath. I like just, right, taking my deep breaths, burning some sage. Probably, yeah, that's probably the quickest way.
All right. And what's something that most people don't know about you? Something interesting.
um, I was I guess, a very competitive athlete my whole life. I played
Oh,
soccer in college. I'm working towards playing soccer again.
yeah.
Just doing some postpartum rehab, but I'm an athlete by nature, and my nervous system needs that kind of work to to feel
Yeah.
regulated.
So you were saying a body that's not moving enough sometimes can overstimulate your overreg what is it called? Neurological system? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
so you're for a lot of us, we tend to be sensory seeking for that movement and we're fidgety, we have a hard time sitting. So moving, heavy work, resistance work, even for just 10 minutes is the most regulating thing you can do.
I agree. I love to
Yeah.
work on it. It changes everything.
Oh
Just
yeah.
20 minutes, it really changes everything.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
do you coffee or tea?
Uh both. I'm
What's
trying to
your
drink
favorite order?
I'm trying to drink less caffeine. I love a chai latte.
Oh, nice. I do too.
Yeah.
That's lovely. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on the Fully Stoked podcast, Alexandria or Alex Viera. this conversation reminds us that peace and alignment don't come from doing more, guys, but they come from being intentional and giving yourselves grace and space. So stay tuned. Remember to come out to the November 19th event. It's coming up soon, and I will link the Eventbrite below. So remember to register because space is limited. Thank you so much, Alex. Bye, everyone. We'll see you next time. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Sarah.
Yes. Hey, thank you again. I appreciate it. And this was
Yeah.
great. And we'll talk sooner, when it gets closer to the 19th.
Mhm.
We'll chat on the phone or something like that. Thank you, girl.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right. See you later.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye bye.